Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Josh, and today I will be showing you how to create a sinusoidal function in the context of a population-based word problem. Now, let's make sure we have all the tools we need to be successful in order to answer this question properly. First off, we're going to need our textbook, because that's where you're going to find the question. We're going to need some paper to write it on, a ruler, if we need to draw a graph to go along with the question to help us maybe visualize the problem, a highlighter, maybe in case we need to pinpoint some of the key areas of the question, and a pencil to write the question with, and finally a calculator if we need to do any equations. Now I have both here, two calculators, because I don't really like to switch between radians and degrees, so in this question we're going to be working in radians, so we won't need the degree calculator, just the radians one. First off, let's take a look at the question. The question can be found on page 377, number 15, in your grade 12 advanced functions text. Now let's read through the question. So, the population of a ski resort town as a function of the number of months into the year can be described by a cosine function. The maximum population of the town is about 15,000 people, and the minimum population is about 500 people. At the beginning of the year, the population is at its greatest. After 6 months, the population reaches its lowest number of people. What is the equation of the cosine function that describes the population of this town? Right off the bat, I can tell that this question is from unit number 4, trigonomic functions. I know this because the question is obviously a word problem, but at the end of the question, it's asking us for the equation of the cosine function. Now that we know that this question is from unit number 4, trigonomic functions, let's go through the question one more time and highlight these key areas of the question that are going to help us solve it at the end. The population of a ski resort town as a function of the number of months into the year can be described by a cosine function. So right there, it says number of months into a year. That is our time period. So that's going to be really important right there, because that is our period and it's going to help us find our b value. The maximum population of the town is about 15,000 people. Once again, another important point right here. 15,000 people, that's our maximum. This is going to help us find unknown values such as a and k when we're solving for the function. And the minimum population is about 500 people. This is also important because we need the minimum to solve for values such as a and k. At the beginning of the year, the population is at its greatest. This helps us know that it is a cosine function, because a positive cosine function without any transformations starts from the maximum and then decreases. After 6 months, the population reaches its lowest number. This also makes us confirm that it is a cosine function, because halfway through one cycle of a cosine function, the cosine function is at its minimum. So then, what is the equation of the cosine function that describes the population of this town? Once again, this is what hints to us that it is from unit number 4, trigonomic functions, because obviously it is asking us to create a sinusoidal function. So now, let's go through the plan on how we're going to solve this question. So for this question, we're going to need to find our a value, our b value, our h value, depending if there's a phase shift or not, and our k value. So we're going to start off by looking at what the question gave us. So the question gave us the period, which is 12 months. Now, although it did not specifically say 12 months, we know that the period is 12, because the question said the function is modeled by the number of months into the year. And obviously there's 12 months into a year, so that means our period is 12. And then it gave us our maximum, which is 15,000 for the max population in the year, and our minimum, which is 500. So then we're going to need to find our a, b, h, and k values, like I stated before. So in order to solve for a, we're going to use the equation of max subtract min over 2. Then to solve for k, we're going to use the equation of max plus min over 2. And to solve for b, we're going to use the equation of 2 pi over period. Now we're going to work in radians here because this is a grade 12 university functions question, and in grade 12 we learn radians. And then, depending if there's a phase shift or not, we're going to have to solve for h. So first off, it's going to give us 15,000 subtract 500 over 2, which gives us 7,250. Then we're going to solve for k. So we're going to do 15,000 plus 500 over 2, which is going to give us 7,750. Then we're going to solve for b. 2 pi over 12. This is going to give us a b value of pi over 6. Now, in order to solve for h, our phase shift, we're going to have to see if there are any transformations made to the function. We're going to have to look at what the original cos graph looks like. And that looks like that. I have drawn out the graph of one cycle of the population of the ski resort town for 1 year. Now, as you can see, it starts at the maximum above the origin and has not shifted to the right or the left. So, in this case, the h value is 0 because there's no phase shift to the right or the left. So this would give us a final answer of y is equal to 7,250 cos bracket pi over 6x close bracket, no phase shift so we don't have to write h in, plus 7,750. Therefore, the population of the ski resort town can be modeled by the equation of y is equal to 7,250 cos pi over 6x plus 7,750. Now what does this mean? So in the context of this problem, our a value of 7,250 means that from the midpoint of the function, which is your k value of 7,750, you are 7,250 people away from reaching your maximum population, which our maximum population was 15,000. And then pi over 6, that's our b value. So that's simply, if you're looking at this function, that would help you find your period of the function. So you would do pi over 2 divided by pi over 6, which would give you your period of 12 months. And then finally, the k value of 7,750, that means that throughout the whole year, the average population is 7,750 people. From as soon as you start learning math in elementary school, all the way to the end of high school, people always ask, when am I ever going to use this in real life? So I'm just going to quickly give an example of a career that you would solve a question like this. The career that I'm going to talk about is a statistician. For example, you're working for Stats Canada and you're in charge of the population statistics of our country. So every year, every month, every week, you're going to be getting data of updated statistics of our population. Now at the end of every year, no one's going to want to look at just a giant sheet of all the numbers from every week, every day, every month of our total population. So you're going to have to represent that information as something that's easy to understand. And most of the time, you're going to represent that information in the form of a sine solo equation. Because from there, they're going to be able to do whatever they want with it. They're going to be able to graph it from there. They're going to be able to find, by graphing, they're going to be able to find different points of different numbers of the population throughout different weeks and months of the year. So yeah, a statistician working for something like Stats Canada would be one career where you might see a problem like this.